How stupid do they think the American buying public is going to be? Toyota may have a chance now because they fired Toyota and moved him aside and put in Sato. Sato-san's a smart guy. He will change the course of Toyota, and there's somebody that company should be watched because things are going to be different. You got one really happy guy, that would be Elon Musk. You got one guy with a smile on his face, and that'll be Jim Farley, and everybody else is sad. That's that's the only way to put it. They're not going to go for that shit. Tesla's electric motor, we still haven't figured out why they've got a special agent in it. We know that it kicks out more power than it should. It took three different people with three different apps to make the damn thing work. And then we went to lunch because they said it's going to take this long. And when we came back, we wound up with a charge because even though it didn't charge the whole battery up, well, you sat here for 20 minutes, and that was one of the most irritating days I've ever had in anybody's vehicle. Uh, he was trying to talk up the Volkswagen ID4, and then finally gave up because they left him at the side of the road so many times. He said, take your car back. He got a free car or a big discount or something. To take your car back is a piece of crap.
This is a cut video from the original one. Here we focus just on the highlights. Sandy, again as usual, continues to laugh at the way that Tesla competition and how he thinks they will survive. Note, survive, not compete. And finally, why Tesla will completely dominate.
Did you see what Consumers Reports came out with? Who they picked as the best auto driving system? I mean, I about peed my pants laughing. I could not believe it. Tesla went from number 2 to number 8. Really? Wow, that was really exciting. I've driven almost every one of these things. I don't know who they got to drive them or what the course looked like, or maybe they're talking to who knows who. But those numbers from Consumers are so buggered up. It isn't even. I can't believe it. I just totally am dumbfounded. Maybe it's who's done the best, everybody gets a gold star, and man, I could not believe it. I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
Maybe he was looking at praise and corruption. I'm just saying, maybe.
It's an 94. They put a different something on the front, but the side view, it's an 94, and the rear view, it's an 94. How stupid do they think the American buying public is going to be? They're not going to go for that shit. I'm going to pay $15,000 or $20,000 more because it says Audi on it. GM tried that in the 80s. It didn't work out for them either. And then you look at Toyota. Toyota may have a chance now because they fired Toyota and moved him aside and put in Sato. Sato-san's a smart guy. He will change the course of Toyota, and there's somebody that company should be watched because things are going to be different.
I think, and this is my personal opinion, that Toyota is quite too late for the EV revolution. At best, they might be the one around 2 million vehicles per year at the year 2030.
And Kia, they're gearing up like nobody's business. They're definitely going to be a contender, but nobody is going to compete except nobody's going to compete like what the Chinese are going to do. They're going to be mopping floors with companies.
Remember, at best, and who knows, they may not sell any cars at all, because who knows what Tesla will achieve in the next several years, how much improvements they will make, and how much revolution they will bring. We have to admit, no one in the EV sector is spending more money on R&D than Tesla does. So in 7 years, Toyota or any other company.
And then the smaller OEMs like Mercedes and BMW and whatnot, they're going to have to do some serious changes in order to compete in the marketplace. So for me, you got one really happy guy, that would be Elon Musk. You got one guy with a smile on his face, and that'll be Jim Farley, and everybody else is sad. That's that's the only way to put it.
He's completely right again. In the next 3 to 5 years, we will probably see a lot of new Chinese companies that will enter the EV car making business. And not long till we see them here competing with Tesla in the US. Most of the companies there in China are financed by the government, unlike Tesla. But one other point, these companies mainly, if they make cars, their goal is to try to make them cheap for the consumer. You know, around $20,000 to $35,000. With costs like this, I don't think the quality of these vehicles will be as good as Tesla makes. So basically Tesla, don't have to worry about this.
I mean, Farley's happy a little bit because he took a risk on the jewel in the crown, the F-150, and it's going to pay off for him. So all the rest of the guys, though, they put the B teams on the retrofitted vehicles and came up snake eyes.
Let me explain what he just said. Tesla will ass finger everybody and dominate. Ford may have some share in the market, and everyone else, beside these two, will get basically smashed.
The build quality on the Rivian and the Mach-E and the Lightning and the other cars that we've taken apart, the build quality for the consumer is fabulous. There's no problem there. Nothing. Comparing them to the Tesla, okay, so build quality on the Tesla is probably as good as anybody. I don't think there's any big differential. It's not like when Toyota started bringing cars in and the gaps were perfect and everybody else, you could throw a cat through the crack in the door. It was, they were disgusting. There's nothing like that. But when you start looking under the skin at what's going on in the technical part of the product, that's when you start seeing the big difference.
They're doing stuff that no other car manufacturer can do. This is not just a car. These are the words that came out of Sandy's mouth recently when he did a teardown video to one of Tesla's cars. Sandy himself admits that sometimes he have no idea how some parts in Tesla cars are being made. Quick stop, this is not a regular engineer that says this. This is Sandy Munro, the smartest car engineer in our generation. He's been in the game for more than 50 years now, and he still sometimes have no idea how some parts in the cars are literally being made. This to show you how Tesla is far ahead than any other car company out there.
Tesla's electric motor, we still haven't figured out why they've got a special agent in it. We know that it kicks out more power than it should based on its weight and stuff like that. We're not quite sure, but this is something that is a deeper chemistry or allotropy, if you like, that they've got going on in their castings that everybody else has got. You look at how short all the cabling and whatnot is, and you go, wow, that's really effective and efficient. You look at the fact that they're doing their own chips. They make their own chips. They don't have to worry about something happening in Indonesia or Taiwan or what have you. They're running the show themselves. So in that respect, everybody else is basically way behind the curve. I mean, it's going to take them. And then the software on a Tesla is at least 5-6 years ahead of everybody else, and still growing. I mean, really and truly.
There are some products in the market that are so bad, even if you receive a huge buying discount on them, you won't even buy them. The stuff that you can't see, most of the time, is the stuff that matters. I don't have anything to say about Rivian, but I think they're doing pretty good. Not as good as Tesla, but you know.
He was trying to talk up the Volkswagen ID4, and then finally gave up because they left him at the side of the road so many times. He said, take your car back. He got a free car or a big discount or something. To take your car back is a piece of crap.
Getting described as one of the worst days that a person's had when he sits on your car is not a really good sign for Volkswagen.
And then he said something that really shocked the daylights out of me. So he's had that car now for, I would say, at least 2 years. How many OTAs, how many over-the-air computer upgrades do you think he got from VW over that time frame?
I'm just going to say 0.
And you're correct. 0.
Oh my,
Zero. Okay, so
yeah.
my Rivian just gave me an update because I have a Rivian. I use that as my truck. And my Rivian just got an update, and I got another one that would be about 3 months ago. And Rivian is now saying, "Hey, guess what? You've got inside your car the right stuff on the inverter, so that you can reverse the power, so you can power your house out of this. We didn't want to tell you. It's kind of like a little surprise." That was a surprise. When my wife saw that, she was dancing all over the place. We have power walls in the basement for our house and solar panels and whatnot. Well, this kicks it up from we can handle a couple of days to infinite. I mean, the Rivian's got like 100 kilowatt hours in it. That's an amazing amount of power. If we can reverse power that, and I've got it all set up for that sort of a thing, great. I mean, this is like having a Lightning, only smaller. So I look at this and say, all these other new car companies, they keep coming up with surprises. That was a surprise to me. I had no idea. In fact, after we're done here, I'm going to go and find out, hey, how come you guys didn't tell me that we've got chips on this instead of diodes? I mean, this is a two-way street here now. What happened? How come you guys didn't tell me? But the same thing is true with Tesla. They've been doing it for years. An OTA comes, and all of a sudden you got more stuff coming on because they thought ahead for the customers. These guys here, they try and figure out how they can decouple or decontent features and function. That's where things really fall apart. That's where the old OEMs, the Harvard mentality, the MBA mentality, whatever you want to call it, that's where you really get clobbered. That's where the real difference is. Everything is what you can't see, not what you can see.
Beside this, Tesla is hiding some shocking secrets that you need to know.
Did you ever see what happened when I took the ID4 to electrify America?
Did you not make it? I don't think I saw that one.
My cell phone app did not work. Eric's didn't work. And it was Zach's that did work. Is that correct, Eric? Yeah. It took 3 different people with 3 different apps to make the damn thing work. And then we went to lunch because they said it's going to take this long. And when we came back, we wound up with a charge because even though it didn't charge the whole battery up, well, you sat here for, 20 minutes and you're only allowed 5, or I don't remember what the hell the thing was.
Wow.
Man, you talk about Eric and Zach walked away. They didn't want to film me. That was one of the most irritating days I've ever had in anybody's vehicle. And we, as taxpayers, watched that go down the rat hole right in front of us. And now we're going to give them more money? What, are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? This is like stupid. I don't get it at all. They should be taking that money and giving it to Tesla and saying, you have to open up everything. You got to let everybody charge here. And oh, by the way, the SAE connector, all those other connectors, scrap them tomorrow. We're going to go with nothing but the Tesla connector because it makes the most sense.